Back here on the Cougar Sports Network for Game 2 of today's doubleheader action between the visiting Carthage College Firebirds and the Concordia University Chicago Cougars. I'm Kayla McLeod, joined this time on the broadcast by Eric Perry. Eric, Firebirds took Game 1 over the Cougars, but not without a fight. CUC coming back in the 6th inning to put a bunch of runs up and make it a close ball game heading into Game 2. Looking to do the same thing, leading off with the same batter. Eric, what do the Cougars have to do this time?
I think what they got to do is they got to start scoring early. They got down in a 5-0 hole, and then, like you said, they scored 3 runs in the 6th inning, but at that point it was a little bit too little too late. So they got to start scoring in the 1st, 2nd, 3rd innings and just keep the momentum in their favor throughout the game.
Absolutely. Like you mentioned, it wasn't until late that the Cougars scored, and once they did, they got some of that momentum. But being able to capitalize early is going to be a huge key for this squad, as Carthage leading things off once again with their leadoff hitter, Claire Rettler, batting .540 on the season, jump-starting things right away for the Firebirds. Takes a slap at that to go for the 1-2 counts.
Yeah, Rettler's definitely Carthage's best hitter in terms of pretty much all batting statistics, highest batting average, most hits. She's also 15 for 16 on stolen bases, but she wasn't super productive in the first game. It ended up not really mattering as Carthage was still able to get 7 runs across, but they'd love for her to go on a streak here in game number 2.
Absolutely, as that ball is in the dirt for ball 2, leveling the count at 2 apiece. We should mention in the circle for the Cougars is the birthday girl, number 21, Morgan Hofeck. A 1.91 ERA on the season, 7 appearances for the Cougars. She delivers that one high for ball 3 to fill this count.
There we saw Morgan Hofeck last week in the doubleheader that the Cougars had, and she came in big and picking up the wins in both of those games after a bit of time off due to some injuries, so they're hoping that she'll be able to keep her momentum going.
As that ball hit over to short, Santos able to glove it, the throw in the dirt, and that's going to be safe on first for Rettler. In the game at first base for the Cougars is Maya Lorenas, who left game 1, and thankful to see her back in the lineup today.
Oh, yeah, definitely. She left game 1 after a bit of a crash over while chasing a foul ball on down the third baseline, so good to see that she's back, and the Cougars are hoping that they can use her bat and her fielding to help them have a different result than what happened in game number 1.
Absolutely. So Rettler goes on the pitch, but that ball's going to be hit nonetheless. A quick hit there is going to put runners on first and second.
Yeah, second baseman for the Cougs just wasn't able to really come down with that one there. Ball got through. Rettler just avoided it and then moved her to second and got the batter at first. And Carthage already got 2 runners on and have yet to record an out.
Absolutely. This is similar spot for the Firebirds, getting things going early. Runners on first and second is a great spot to be in with your 3-hitter up, as that one catches for strike number 1.
That was a great pitch by Hofeck to just catch the corner there, first strike 1. Just need her to get her control down and to start painting the corners here to get some outs and make sure the Cougars can get out of this inning unscathed.
Simonson at the plate for the Firebirds, as she takes that one for ball 1.
And you see with every pitch, Rettler's taking some big leadoffs off second base, and this is a Carthage team that loves stealing bases. They've stolen 37 bases on 39 attempts this season. And again, Rettler 15 for 16 just by herself.
An aggressive team the Firebirds are, and it proved well in game 1. As I mentioned, the 7-4 victory for the Firebirds. But Cougars looking to combat here as that one misses for ball number 3. Simonson was 3 for 4 at the plate in game 1. So looking to keep her streak alive here.
Hofeck still struggling with control a little bit. We saw this a little bit last week when she was making a return, so she's just hoping that she can get her control back as the game gets going.
As that ball goes foul over onto Division Street. We mentioned it in game 1. many a times, but CUC softball field located right by the busy Division Street, so foul balls play a bit of a dangerous game for passing cars and parked cars. As that ball is connected and sent deep into right field, but Schroll able to glove it and hold the runners where they are. No tag. And Cougars get the first out on the board after the fly out.
That one sounded good off the bat, and if the wind had been blowing out as much as it was in game one, that might have been gone. But luckily for the Cougs, Ashley Schroll was able to get under it and get the throw right back to the second baseman to make sure the runner didn't advance.
And that's going to bring Izzy Hernandez up to the plate for the Firebirds. Hernandez 3 for 3 at the plate in game one, 2 runs, 1 RBI. So a really hot hitter for this Carthage squad.
Oh yeah, definitely. She was a force for Carthage in game one. She's helping provide in total 3 of their 7 runs.
As that ball misses low and away for ball 1.
And for the first time in a little bit, the sun's peeking out from behind the clouds, so now you got the sun coming down in the batter and the catcher's eyes.
The 2-0 count here for Hernandez. Hofek sends this one swung on, but also catching Hernandez a little bit. So strike number 1.
And Rettler was all over that one. The second she saw that ball get past the catcher, she was going, but since it went off Hernandez, that dead balled it, so Rettler just had to walk back to second.
2-1 count here. Hofek sends this one in the dirt for ball 3.
Looks like she didn't get a good release off the pitch, and so it kind of ended up just getting it in the dirt a few feet in front of home plate. Now Hernandez has got a great 3-1 count to work with.
As this one is connected on, sent up the middle. Santos diving, can't get it. Changes the direction of that ball, so it's actually going to get past McKyler Morse in center field. That's going to score 1. 2 is going to score. The play at 3 is no good. Melissa Hajik trying to get the tag on Hernandez. Can't quite get it. An unfortunate circumstance there after the hard ball was hit up the middle. Santos actually altering the direction of that ball a little bit, taking a bounce off of her and sending it all the way to the wall for Hernandez. So quickly the Firebirds put 2 on the board, put a runner on third with only 1 out.
Yeah, it was just a really unfortunate sequence for the Cougs. Like you said, Santos made the dive for it and just went right off her glove, and that redirection meant that McKyler Morris was all of a sudden running the wrong way, so she just had to turn around and book it to get to the ball, and she made the throw to hold the runner at third, but still allowed 2 runs to score in the process.
Absolutely. As the 1-0 count here, Hendrick at the plate. She fouls that one off along the third base line.
And this is a Carthage team that is very good when it comes to hitting. They got a .312 batting average on the year, 127 hits through their first 14 games. And they have just been powerhouses behind the plate.
As that ball is hit into left center all the way to the wall. Hernandez going to score easily. Hendrick stand up double. And Carthage is on a tear once again. 3-0 lead here in the top of the first. And that's going to bring CUC pitching coach Sydney Palaskis-Lawher out to the circle to have a quick debrief with her pitcher and the infield and settle things a little bit. But Carthage really jumping out early.
Yeah, we saw them do this in the first game. They were able to get a run on the board in inning 2 and then just keep adding it on in 3, 4, and 5. But you want to try to minimize the damage here. They've already got a 3-0 lead, and considering that it took the Cougar bats a little while to get going in game number 1. You want to make sure that your team's not facing a too big deficit to come down from early.
Absolutely. So a bit of a regroup is a great option here to try to resettle things. Infield slowly starting to walk away. And Hofek settling back inside the circle. Should mention some changes in the infield for the Cougars compared to game 1. Now behind the plate, number 9, Emmy Lucero. As behind the plate in game 1 was Jess Gang. Gang now moved out to left field for the Cougars. So some outfield changes again from game 1. But the rest of the infield still stays the same. Lorena's able to grab that one and secure the out herself. A hard hit ball over to first to secure out number 2. That's going to move Hendrick over to third.
And the Cougars will take that. They're fine to move the runner to third as long as they get the out. Now they only need one more out to get out of the inning. And at this point, if you're Hofek and the Cougs, you're just trying to minimize the damage, keep it at a 3-0 deficit, and don't allow the Firebirds to add any more runs on to their lead.
Absolutely. This one in there for strike 1. A great pitch from Hofek to start things off. Very clearly the meeting of the minds led by assistant pitching coach Sydney Pulaskis-Lawher resettled things a little bit as that one misses low and away for ball 1.
And when Hofek's on, she is on. But it's just all contingent on her being able to get her control under her and her being able to paint the corners like she wants to do.
The 1-1 count here. Misses away for a 2-1 count.
And if you're the Firebirds, you're hoping that you can just keep getting some more runs in the top of this inning. Not only give yourselves a big lead, but also just kind of break the spirit of the Cougs. Make it seem like they have a giant uphill battle to come back from.
This ball taking a bounce over, but able to cleanly glove it and get the out was Melissa Hajik from third. So the Cougars head to their half of the inning, trailing 3-0. Eric, bats got to get hot to start the game. What do they need to do from these first 3 batters to see that?
Well, from the first 3 batters of the Cougs, they just got to get on base. They need to make good contact. We saw in game 1 they weren't able to do very much from batting in the first few innings. They need to flip the script in the bottom of inning number 1. They need to get runners on base, preferably score some runs, and just show that the early Firebird runs haven't rattled them, that they're still very much focused, and they're here to make the comeback and win the game.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. I mean, this top half of the batting order for the Cougars, leading things off is Jess Gang. You know, strong bats for the Cougars, and being able to capitalize on that early is going to be huge. Jess Gang leading things off for CUC, hitting .406 on the season, and she's been a strong leadoff for the CUC squad, so being able to jump off right away and not let themselves get too far into this deficit is going to be a huge key.
Definitely, like you said, she's got a .406 batting average. She also leads the team in hits with 13, along with 7 RBI to go along with that, which is second. So they need her to get a good, solid hit here, get on base, and then let the following batters come up and bring her around to score.
Absolutely, and the arm in the circle for the Firebirds, number 27, Olivia Hristov. This is her 8th appearance of the season for the Firebirds. She's got a 3-3 record, so overall a pretty reliable arm for Carthage. She's got 38.2 innings pitched, the second most of the Carthage pitchers. So today, CUC seeing the 2 top arms for Carthage after seeing their number 1 arm in game 1. So, you know, being able to take the number 1 arm in game 1 and figure out a groove, coming in and seeing the number 2 arm here to start game 2 is going to be huge for the Cougars.
Yeah, Ristov is second in all of the major categories behind Maddie Conway, but she is a very good number 2 option for the Firebirds, and they have seen the damage that she can do when she is on from behind the mound.
As Gang quickly falls to an 0-2 count after taking 2 strikes here. Needing to play defensively here at the plate. She lets that one go by for ball 1.
You could tell that Ristov was trying to get her to chase with that one. Get her with a high pitch, make her swing and miss and get one out, but it was a good eye by Gang to just watch it go by.
This one in the dirt for ball 2 and quickly evens the count at 2 apiece.
Yeah, we saw this a lot in game 1 where the Cougar batters would kind of fall behind in the count quickly, but then they would get back in it. They would make it 2-2 counts, 3-2 counts, and they would keep their at-bats alive.
And that ball hits Gang, so she's going to take her free base. No questions asked. And that's going to bring up Kyler Morris with 1 runner on base.
And you'll take that. It might not be the big hit you probably wanted, but you still got a runner on base and no outs on the board yet, and you're just trying to get everyone on base you can to cut into this lead.
Morris takes a hack at that one, sends it foul.
Good hack at it by Morris, just didn't get enough contact with it to kind of straighten it out and keep it in play.
Morris taking a second to talk with third base coach for the Cougars, assistant coach Dave Galitko. And coming back in with the 0-1 counts. Should also mention a change for the Firebirds behind the plate. Now catching in game 2 for Carthage is number 6, Tallulah Feingold. So, again, seeing a bit of a change. The rest of their lineup pretty similar across the infield and outfield. So, really just seeing some changes inside the circle and behind the plate for both squads.
And a good hack there again. Unfortunately, she was just a little bit beneath that one. Just fouled off straight back here at us in the booth. Give her an 0-2 count now.
This one swung on, hit over to Adler. Can they turn 2? They cannot. Adler able to collect it and get the lead runner in Gang, but that's going to leave Morris safe at second.
For the type of ground ball that was, if you're the Cougars, you'll take it. That looked like it could be a double play ball for a second, but Morris was able to get down the first base line quick enough to make sure that the Firebirds weren't able to turn 2.
As that one in there for strike 1 against Maya Lorenas. 1 out now after Gang thrown out at second. Lorenas at the plate, the lead hitter for this CUC squad. She takes a hack at that, sends it over to third. Instead of turning 2, Boyd checks the runner and gets the lead, gets the force out at first, so that's going to leave a runner on second. 2 outs now. Melissa Hajik at the plate.
Now it was a good play by Boyd. She eyeballed the runner going to second, realized that the throw wouldn't make it in time, so switched it up and got the batter out.
And Hajik connects with that right away, but that's going to go just foul. Making the diving attempt at it was Boyd over at third, but bouncing just on the left side of the bag is going to give an 0-1 count here for Hajik.
And Hajik would love to move that in just a few more inches because that meant it'd be fair and get past the third baseman, and the Cougs would be able to put 1 on the scoreboard.
Instead, Hajik takes a swing at that one. It's going to slow roll over to Adler at short and get the out. So a quick inning for the Cougars as they're heading back to the field, trailing 3-0 after 1 complete inning. So while these two teams take a quick break, we're going to take one as well here on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network for the top of the second. Carthage officially leading after 1 inning, 3-0. Hofek still dealing in the circle as that ball is hit with authority. It's going to bounce in right center. Schroll able to get it in, but nonetheless a stand-up double for Adler.
That was just a great hit. Adler saw the first pitch, decided she liked it, and sends it out to the wall. Due to a bit of the glare, I couldn't even tell where that was going, but it was a good play by Schroll to get the ball back in quickly and hold Adler at second, but still, Firebirds already got a runner on with no outs.
A really good spot for Carthage to be in here, as that's going to bring up Boyd, who takes that one for ball 1. Riley Boyd still chasing her first hit of the season. 5 total at-bats this season. Appeared in 4 games for the Firebirds. She takes that one for strike 1.
You know that she would love to get that first hit here early in the second inning, give her a bit of momentum heading into the rest of the game with the knowledge that she's finally in the hit column. She's finally got one on the year. Absolutely.
The 1-1 count here delivered high for ball 2.
Now Hofek's got to make sure that first pitch double doesn't rattle her. Just make sure that she can lock in and get some quick outs here. Keep it at just a 3-0 Firebird lead.
This ball drops into shallow right field, fielded by Schroll, getting the throw in to stop Adler from scoring, but that's going to put runners on the corner bags with no outs, which is a dangerous spot for Carthage to be in. And head coach of the Cougars, Sarah O'Malley-Fisher, coming out to have a quick discussion with the umps and make some changes. And it does appear as though that will be a pitching change. Umpires for today's game, Ruben Garcia behind the plate and Robert Williams in the field. And that's going to move the DP into pitch. Alyssa Campos now entering the game to pitch. Campos coming into the game today with a 4.42 ERA. She's got 5 appearances on the season, 2 wins. 2 games started, a total of 12.2 innings pitched. So also 7 strikeouts on the season. She's leading this Cougar squad in total strikeouts, but with that, 7 walks. So a fairly even pitcher for this CUC squad, but at this point in time, the Cougars need to see some heat inside the circle and make it difficult, because Carthage is proving that they're going to hit today.
Yeah, Carthage, like we saw in inning number 1 and just the first game as a whole, they came out swinging their bats. And so now you're bringing in Campos and just hoping that maybe she can get some fireballs past some of the Carthage batters, kind of spook them a little bit to just try to get in their heads and get some momentum on the Cougar side. As, like you said, Carthage got runners on the corners, no outs yet.
So with that, Rettler back up for the Firebirds. Carthage playing aggressive here, no outs, runners on the corner bags. Runner's gonna go, throw's gonna go, but be intercepted in the midfield by Caitlin Smith, looking to catch Adler stealing home, but instead it's just going to be a stolen base there for Boyd.
Now, if you're the Cougars, you do not want to see Rettler come into the plate. She is a powerhouse when it comes to batting. She leads the Firebird team in hits, and you're just hoping that you can get her out here.
As that one is in there for strike 1. Alyssa Campos delivering her first strike of the day.
When she can find the zone, she is lethal. It's just that when she can't find the zone, she really can't find the zone.
This one misses. It's going to get past. Lucero with the diving attempts to stop the run. No good. Adler's going to score. That ball took a weird bounce, not only off the backstop, but also off the net, kind of rolled up into 2. So an unfortunate bounce there for for Lucero. And Campos was there, but by the time that Lucero could grab that ball, she was already practically standing at the plate herself.
Yeah, it's a good play by Lucero to just dive for it, try to catch the foot, but unfortunately she just didn't have quite the reach, and Carthage adding another one to their lead.
Firebirds now up 4-0. No outs remain. A bunt laid down by Rettler. The throw over in time. A great throw. Smith covering first, able to get the out and hold the run. So 1 down now for the Cougars. And runner planted on third.
Now you got that first out. You're hoping that Campos will settle down a little bit, that you'll be able to just get 2 quick outs here and exit the inning with Carthage only having scored 1 of their base runners.
Kronos connects with that one right away, but Santos, a quick athletic play there. Little time wasted as she was able to glove it, get it out of her glove, and into the glove of Lorenas in a matter of seconds to get out number 2. But with that, Boyd is going to score and put Carthage up 5-0.
And if you're Carthage, you'll take that trade. Yeah, the batter ended up getting out, but still, you added 1 to the scoreboard. You've given yourselves a 5-0 lead here early in inning number 2.
As Simonson sends that one foul. Cougars really looking to get out of this inning, limiting the damage. 2 outs now, nobody on base. This is an ideal situation for the Cougars as they have been successfully able to get some outs, but not without giving up runs. So getting an out with nobody on base is the best case scenario for the CUC squad.
Yeah, we saw in game number 1 that Carthage was really just able to get the hits and the runs going. In the 7-inning game, they scored in 4 of them, and they were able to just keep the momentum in their favor. So the Cougars hoping to cut that off here and get to their half of the inning and where they can hopefully put up some runs of their own.
Campos now delivering this one. Misses low and inside for ball 2.
And Campos was trying to just hit it right on the corner there, but was not able to do so. Hoping that she can get it in the zone now.
As this one misses inside once again for ball 3. A quick 3-0 count here in favor of the Firebirds. Cougars looking to get out of this inning, needing a strike here from Campos.
Yeah, you do not want to put a runner on base and give the Firebirds the opportunity to do even more damage.
As that one is going to send a free base for the Firebirds. And once again, Carthage a runner on. Now back to the Firebirds, number 34, Izzy Hernandez now at the plate once again. Hernandez having that big time hit up the middle that jump-started things for Carthage. This one misses high. The throw down to first, no good.
Yeah, Hernandez, like you said, already in the hit column. She had the 1 hit, recorded 2 RBIs to break the scoring for Carthage. Now hoping that she can do it again here. At the very least, advance the runner, if not score from first.
Campos stepping off once again. Simonson over at first, 2 outs, a 1-0 count here. This one misses outside for ball 2. Lucero behind the plate, staying aggressive after every pitch. Gesturing a throw down to first, doesn't want Simonson to get too comfortable over there. Making it known that she will throw that ball down.
Yeah, she is eyeing Simonson there, just waiting for her to take a little bit too much of a lead so that she can launch the ball to first and hopefully get a tag for the out.
This one misses inside. A 3-0 count here for Hernandez.
Now Campos just kind of struggling with her control a little bit here. Just needs to focus on finding the strike zone and throwing some good pitches.
As that ball misses, and a 4-ball walk for Hernandez is going to put 2 runners on base. Again, assistant coach for the Cougars, Sydney Pulaskis-Lawher, coming out to have a quick conversation, resettling things. You know, Eric, we mentioned it, that Campos is very effective for the CUC squad. 7 strikeouts on the season, but with that came 7 walks. So not surprising to see a couple batters walked, but once she settles in and finds her groove, it's something that she's very consistent and aggressive for the Cougars.
Oh, definitely, and that's what Coach Pulaskis-Lawher is hoping that the quick mound visit will do, is just help her realize, hey, you only got to get one more out to get us out of the inning. Just need to throw 3 strikes or get 1 ground ball or fly out, and then we're out of here. Just focus on getting some good pitches across the plate.
Absolutely, and, you know, being able to stay in this game and not let this get too out of hand early on in the innings is going to be huge, as that ball catches for strike 1. So whatever was said in the circle, working very effectively as the 0-1 count here.
Now just an excellent pitch by Campos to find the outside side of the strike zone, and great one there, finds the inside.
0-2 count here. Campos looking to end the inning. As that ball hit up the middle. And the good throw home. A well-placed throw from Morris to stop any runners from scoring. But that's going to load the bases up here for Carthage. Operating with 2 outs. This is a dangerous spot to be in.
Yeah, and that's just a bit of an unfortunate pitch there. You had an 0-2 count on the batter. You're in control, and then ended up just hitting a single right at the middle. And while they did hold the runner at third, now you got bases loaded and just got to kind of block all that noise out and just focus on the batter now.
Ristov at the plate for the Firebirds. 2 outs. She connects with that one. And the easy force out at third from Hajik is going to end the inning. But again, not without some damage done. Firebirds putting up 2 runs to jump out ahead 5-0. Cougars heading to their half of the inning with Santos, Lucero, and Campos up on deck for CUC. So while these 2 teams take a quick one, we're going to take one as well here on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, bottom of the second, Arissa Santos leading things off for the Cougars. She takes that one low and away for ball number 1. Santos had her first home run of the season in game 1, looking to keep that hot bat alive here.
Oh, you know she would love to get number 2 and not only get the Cougars on the scoreboard, but spark some offense, give them some life reserve, down 5-0 in just the bottom of the second inning.
Santos connects with that one, but never leaving the infield. Adler's able to get the out at first and put one away, and that's going to bring up the catcher for the Cougars, number 9, Emmy Lucero. While we're on the topic of mentioning CUC Athletic Communication Student Workers, Emmy Lucero is another one of our very own. Lucero seeing her first at-bat of the day. She lays a bunt down. That's going to die right there at the beginning. And after falling out of the glove, Lucero's going to turn two and successfully take two. So a bunt laid down. Initially, I thought it might have bounced off of her, but ruled a fair and clean bunt. Then on the run, it's going to pop out of the glove of Hernandez, but now the ump's going to take a second to discuss it and confirm whether or not that bunt actually bounced off of Lucero.
Yeah, to me it just looked like she hit it straight down and it hit the ground and just started spinning, and it had no movement at all. So then when the catcher picked it up, didn't get a solid grip on it, and that allowed Lucero to get around to second base.
Head coach of the Firebirds, Amy Gilmore, the one that initially discussing with the umpires whether or not that was a clean bunt or not, and now assistant coach for the Cougars, Dave Glitko, pulling Lucero and Campos over to discuss some things before jumping back into it. So Alyssa Campos now at the plate for CUC.
She gave up 2 runs in the top of the second, so you know that she would love to get her team on the scoreboard, love to give herself some help here with this at-bat.
Campos 0 for 1 at the plate in game 1 with a walk, chasing her first hit of the day here in game number 2.
She's got a runner in scoring position. She's just hoping to get a good solid hit that'll hopefully be able to get Lucero around to score from second.
As that ball misses for ball 2. 2-0 count here in favor of Campos. Runner on second, 1 away. This pitch connected on and lifted into left field. Taking a bounce, Lucero's going to get to third in time, and Campos safely to first. That ball sounded like it had some heat coming off of it, off of the bat of Campos. But runners on the corner bags, and that's going to bring Coach Amy Gilmore out to talk with her infield. And the Cougars are looking to get things going here.
That was just a great hit by Campos. Got it over the third baseman's head. Got it to drop. Unfortunately, didn't have the distance to get Lucero to score Lucero from second, but still, you moved her to third, and you have runners on the corners with just 1 out. And if you're the Cougs, you're hoping that this is the time to do some damage. This is the time to get yourselves back in this to score 1 or 2 or 3 runs and cut into this Firebird lead.
Absolutely, and this is a really good spot for the Cougars to be in. This is similar to how they were finding that spark late in game 1, so being able to find that spark here early in game 2, it's a good adjustment that we see out of this young CUC squad.
Yeah, it shows that they are able to adapt and figure out kind of the pitching strategy as the game goes along. The only issue in game 1 was that they weren't able to figure out until right at the end. So if they can figure it out here and they can get back in this, then they can hopefully put themselves in a position to come back and win this.
As Ashley Schroll takes that one in there for strike 1. Schroll, her first at-bat of the game, but came in and went 1 for 2 at the plate in game 1. She connects, sends that one deep into left field. It's tracking, it's back, it's off of the fence. Lucero's going to score. Campos is going to be held up at third, but a stand-up double for Ashley Schroll. Fire me up on a Tuesday, Ashley Schroll.
And just like that, the Cougars are on the scoreboard. Not only that, you got 2 runners in scoring position. And just like that, they're back in this game. They got a big opportunity here to cut into this Firebird lead. Even more momentum is on their side.
CUC officially 1 on the board, 1 out, runners on second and third. A swing and a miss there from Caitlin Smith.
Caitlin Smith wanted that one. She wants to add to the hits and get one of her own to score hopefully at least 1 runner.
Smith 1 for 1 at the plate in game 1. Looking to be efficient here in game 2. Quickly an 0-2 count.
Smith hoping that she can just get a good pitch, preferably down the right field line to score 2 runners.
Is that one fouled off of the first base netting, keeping her at bat alive, sitting with the 0-2 count.
And there is a gap between the center fielder and the right fielder for the Firebirds, so you know that she would love to plant one there and get it right into that gap to score the runners.
That ball misses outside for ball one. The 1-2 count. Keeping herself alive, fouling it off. Smith taking a hack at that one, doing her job.
She's been able to make contact with him. Now she just needs to figure out how to get him inside the lines and make it a fair ball.
This one, once again, fouled back up off the netting. Extending this at-bat, keeping herself alive here. Smith forcing Ristov to throw strikes consistently. The longer the at-bat, the harder it is for the pitcher to consistently throw strikes. Smith checks her swing on that one for a good reason, as that levels the count at 2 apiece.
Ristov thought that she pointed at the home plate umpire to signal that she thought that the swing was not checked, but umpire said differently, and it's a 2-2 count now.
Smith connects, sends this one over. Adler, instead of making the throw at first, tries to prevent the run. She looks to throw back to Boyd to get Campos. Campos dives back to the base and is safe. And off the fielder's choice, that's going to be bases loaded here for Jess Gang, top of the order for CUC.
That's just a fantastic play by Campos. Shortstop just looked and saw her and decided to go for her, but Campos was able to just dive right around the tag and get back to third safely. And like you said, now Cougars have a loaded bases with only 1 out.
Gang hit by a pitch in her first at-bat. Would not be mad for that same situation here, as it would score a run. But quickly, she's stuck with a 2-0 count in favor of the Cougars.
And now if you're the Cougs, you're hoping that this is just going to rattle Ristov a little bit. You want to get in her head and make her throw some bad pitches that you can just smack all over the place.
As that one catches the outside corner for strike one. 2-1 count now, bases loaded, 1 out. A base hit here scores 1, potentially 2. As that one misses upstairs for ball 3. Who are we kidding, Eric? A base hit here will most likely score 2 with the speed of Ashley Schroll over on second.
Oh yeah, if you got Ashley Schroll on base, a good hit's going to score her from pretty much any base, especially with her on second.
That ball misses low, and that's going to walk a run in. Free base for Gang. Campos crossing the plate. And Cougars are going to cut into this Firebird lead. Officially 2 on the board. That's going to frazzle Carthage a little bit. Infield taking a quick second to discuss and debrief, but CUC in a really good spot. 3 runners on, 1 out. McKyler Morris at the plate.
And that was just a great at-bat for a Gang. It was a 5-pitch walk, only 1 strike, and that was a strike that was right on the edge, so maybe it's a sign that Ristov is kind of losing her control as she's faced with a still loaded bases.
This one popped high. Chasing it and getting under it is Kronos, so all runners hold, as that ball did not leave the infield. So an unfortunate situation, since that ball stayed in the infield. It didn't allow any runners to advance. If you're Carthage, that's the best case scenario, but on the flip side, that brings up Maya Lorenas, who, again, we've said it so many times today, she's the leading hitter for the CUC squad.
Yeah, you do not want Maya Lorenas coming to bat with the bases loaded, even if there are 2 outs. So if you're Carthage, you're hoping that you can just find a way to get her out quickly and not give her the chance to put a well-hit ball into play.
There's that ball in the dirt for a 1-1 count.
And again, the issue of having a great batter like Lorenas up with the bases loaded is that you can't pitch around her. You have to pitch to her because a walk scores a run. So you have to throw her strikes.
That one misses upstairs for the 2-1 count. Lorenas 0 for 3 in game 1. 0 for 1 so far today. So as much as we've talked about her being the top hitter for the CUC squad, hitting .550 on the season, she's still chasing her first one today, as that one's going to catch the outside corner for strike 2. We got 2s across the board, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
Now Ristov just trying to find one more pitch that she can get past Lorenas, get her out of the inning with minimal damage.
That ball connected, sent up the middle, a base hit from Maya Lorenas. That's going to score 1. That's going to bring 2 in, and on the sliding score is Caitlin Smith. Stand-up double for Maya Lorenas, and she's fired up, and the Cougars bring this within 1.
What a great time for Maya Lorenas to have her first hit of the day. She may have gone 0 for 3 in game 1, but she has got the big hit where it matters here in game number 2. And just like that, the Cougs are only down a run, and they got a runner at third down, a runner at second.
And that's going to bring up Melissa Hajik. Again, she's 0 for 1 here so far in game 1. She was 1 for 3 at the plate, in game 2, as it doesn't matter as she connects with that one. 1 run scores. Lorena's coming in, and she scores with ease. Carthage doesn't even attempt to make the throw, and the Cougars are on top in the bottom of the second.
And just like that, the Cougs have the lead. It seemed like earlier, just a few pitches ago, Ristov was going to be able to get out of this, but all of a sudden the Cougs have just smashed a pair of hits, giving themselves a 6-5 lead.
And for the first time today, CUC on top of Carthage. A big inning here. Still operating with 2 outs. That's going to bring up Arissa Santos at the plate. She takes that one in there for strike 1. Cougars still have 1 runner on base.
And
in Melissa Hajik, who historically has not been your leading base stealer, but with this fresh lead would not be out of character, as that ball is grounded out for out number 3. Boyd able to collect it and get the throw over, but not without some damage. Cougars putting up 6 runs in the inning to go on top 6-5. I mean, talk about, you couldn't have a much better bottom of the second inning.
No, you couldn't have. You weren't able to get any runs on the board in the bottom of the first, and you gave up 5 in just the first 2, but then you were able to get the bats going. You were able to start smacking hits to every spot of the field, and just like that, you've given yourselves a 6-5 lead. And now you just got to hope that the pitching can come through and get some good defensive pitching and hold on to the lead.
Campos is back out in the circle for the Cougars. So sticking with it and trying to continue to work out of this jam. Like we've mentioned so many times so far on this broadcast, she is a strong arm for the CUC squad. So especially with this new burst of energy for the Cougars coming off of their hitters hitting big, being able to lock in with one of your top arms and being able to keep her consistent and give her that opportunity to work through some of that rut that she fell into in the last inning, it's going to be huge for her.
Yeah, when you're down 3-0, you come and you're just kind of trying to keep doing damage control and just keep it so that the other team can't go up by anymore. But now that you've got the lead, you've got the momentum, you're pitching to defend the lead and give your team the win. So yeah, they're hoping that she can just come in and Combo can just throw some fireballs here.
Leading things off for the Firebirds is the pitcher in Ristov, as she's 0 for 1 at the plate so far today.
Ristov would love to do her part to get some of those run backs and tie this up or give her team the lead again.
She takes that first pitch that she sees, looked like it could have been good, but with some quick movements from Hajik over at third, she's able to grab that for out number 1.
Just a nice defensive play by Melissa Hajik. She had to move a few steps to her left, and 1 pitch, 1 out here in inning number 3.
It's going to bring Adler up to the plate for Carthage. Adler 1 for 1 here in game 2. She lets that one go for ball 1.
Now Carthage in a position that they haven't seen all day. They are batting from behind. In game 1, they jumped out to an early lead that they never gave up. They had that going here at the start of game number 2, but now they've got to figure out how to get themselves back in this game and how to get the hits to fall.
2-0 count here in favor of Adler. Campos working from behind. Sends that one upstairs for a 3-0 count. Lorena's taking a quick second to give a encouraging high five to Campos, just a little bit of reassurance to resettle her a bit. Needing to throw a strike here. Campos sends this one in for strike number 1.
Beautiful pitch by Campos. And if you're Adler, when you got a 3-0, now 3-1 count, you know that Campos has to throw strikes So that's what you're looking for. You're looking for a good one that you can make good contact with and send to the outfield.
This one connected on, popped up. Lorenas once again tracking it over out of the line of sight of our press box, but with no signal from the umpire. It's going to fill this count up 3-2.
Some good pitching by the Cougs here to get themselves back into a full count. Make it so that you're not giving up an easy free base.
Adler connects on that one, sends it once again, foul territory, right field line. Ashley Schroll coming in, calling everybody off, and gets the out in foul territory to put 2 away.
That was just some great pitching by Campos. She had a 3-0 count, but was able to make it a full one, then bring in a pitch that was fouled off or fouled out, and now got 2 away in the third.
Riley Boyd at the plate for Carthage. She takes that one in there for strike number 1.
We said earlier that part of Campos' struggles is finding the zone, but it seems like she's found it now. She is painting the corners and just getting it to go right where she wants.
This ball hit up the middle. Smith able to glove it. The throw over to first is off the bag, so that's going to let Boyd stay on first. And Cougars operating with 2 outs here now, a runner on first. And that's going to bring up the top of the order with Rettler at the plate now.
And the Cougs, you'd never want to see Rettler come up. As we've said before, she is the Firebirds' best hitter, but now you're hoping that you can just get her out quickly.
As that one line drived into the outfield off the glove of Smith. And that's going to send a run in, a stand-up triple for Rettler. Boyd is going to make it all the way around the bags on it. And just like that, Eric, we have a tie game in River Forest.
Rettler saw the first pitch she liked, and she slammed it. Went just off the top of the glove of the second baseman, Caitlin Smith, and just ended up going to the outfield. Cougs weren't able to get the throw in time to get the runner. And yeah, we're tied here 6-6 early.
Campos sends this one in there for strike 1. Pitching with some vengeance now after leveling things up once again.
Yeah, if you're Campos, now you're just trying to settle down. You've got 2 outs. You just need to get 1 more out, and you're out of the inning. You can let the bats go back to hopefully keep up the good work they were doing.
As that ball lined into the glove of Arissa Santos. So Cougars get out of the inning, but Firebirds strike right back, level things up at 6 apiece. So CUC heading into their half of the inning, looking to once again take the edge ahead of the Firebirds. So while these 2 teams switch halves, we're going to take a quick one here on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, bottom of the third. Leading things off for CUC is the catcher, Emmy Lucero. Lucero, the first batter here in the bottom of the third. Cougars all tied up with the Firebirds. She connects on that one, sends it foul, tracking it over, but unable to glove it.
And Cougars managed to score 6 in the bottom of the second. You're hoping to keep that momentum going, hoping to keep the hits falling. And one thing you note is that Carthage doesn't really have a deep bullpen. Their majority of the work is done by their 2 starting pitchers.
As that ball hit foul, but with some heat. And quickly a 1-2 count here for Lucero.
Lucero just trying to make good contact like that one, except this time hopefully keep it fair. Hopefully get it over the head of the third baseman and get on the bases.
That ball misses outside for ball 2, levels the count at 2 apiece.
It's a good attempt to try to frame the ball. Unfortunately, the ump did not buy it.
Swing and a miss there from Lucero. That's going to put out number 1 up on the board. And that's going to bring up Alyssa Campos.
Campos settled down in the top of the third, only ended up giving up 1 run. So now you know that she would love to give herself a little bit of more help to get the lead back, at least get on base and give the Cougars the opportunity to take the lead right back from the Firebirds.
That ball misses in the dirt for ball number 1. 1-0 count here with 1 away. That one once again missing in the dirt for ball 2.
Gustav's trying to find the bottom of the strike zone, but unfortunately she is just not even getting it there. Just been throwing it in the dirt right at the front of the batter's box. And that one's also going to be a ball, and just like that, Campos is looking at a 3-0 count, knowing that now Ristov is going to have to throw a strike and hoping that she can find one that she likes to just send into the outfield.
As that one misses for ball 4.
Just like that, the Cougars have a runner on base, and now they're hoping that they can keep the hits coming.
Ashley Schroll now at the plate for the Cougars.
Schroll's a big hitter in the clutch when the Cougars need it, so they're hoping that they can get a big hit here from her here in the bottom of the third. Hopefully advance Campos to second or third, or maybe even score if it's a good enough hit.
That ball hit up the middle, but quickly gloved by Ristov, and she's able to get the throw over to second in time, get the lead runner out, and put 2 away on the scoreboard. That's going to bring up Caitlin Smith. Schroll safely at first.
And the Firebirds are hoping to show that what happened in the second inning was just a 1-inning thing. They're not going to let it affect them going forward. They're not going to allow the Cougs to get any more runs across. And so they're hoping that even though the Cougs have a runner, there's still 2 outs. Firebirds just need to get 1 more to get out of the inning and give their bats an opportunity to take the lead right back.
Smith shows bunt, fouls that one off.
And bunting's something the Cougars have had success with. We saw earlier that excellent bunt that was laid down that ended up going for a double, so they're hoping that they can just get some overall hitting success.
That one misses low for ball 2. Smith 0 for 1 here in game 2. She connects with that one, sends it over, but Adler makes the diving attempt and gets Schroll out at second. Schroll sliding in, and the stretch from Kronos to make that play. A very athletic attempt from both the middle infielders to get the Firebirds out of the inning with a big 0 up on the scoreboard for the Cougars. And that's going to send CUC back to the field. Campos still pitching for the Cougars.
Yeah, Cougs wanted to score some runs to take the lead back. Unfortunately, weren't able to. But now you're just hoping that Campos can come in with the pitching, get some outs. Look at the scoreboard. Firebirds 3 in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the third. You're hoping that in inning number 4 it keeps the trend going, and they just put up 0 runs. Keep it tied and let the bats come back in the bottom of the 4th and try to break through and get some more runs.
The next due up for the Firebirds, arguably their most effective Simonson, Hernandez, and Hendrick. So the good 3, 4, 5 chunk of their batting order is due up, and Cougars doing what they can to hold this game as long as they possibly can. A good burst of energy from the hitters in the bottom of the second inning. Defensively done a nice job in the top of the third to be able to hold the Firebirds to 1 run, their lowest so far in Game 2. So looking to continue to drop that number of runs scored. 3 runs in the first, 2 runs in the second, 1 run in the third. Ideally, you're looking to keep that trend and not let up a single run in the top of this 4th inning.
Yeah, you're hoping that your defense and your pitching will just force the Firebirds to put up a big old goose egg, and that this will remain a 6-6 ball game.
So Campos still in the circle for the Cougars. Leading things off is Simonson, who is 0 for 1 in game number 2. That ball in the dirt for ball 1. Simonson 3 for 4 at the plate in game 1, so had a very productive outing for the Firebirds.
Yeah, Simonson was great from the batter's box in game number 1. She's hoping that she can keep that going here in game number 2.
As that one is popped up to Santos for out number 1.
Just like that, you got 1 away, and you got an out from one of the big batters for Carthage. And you're hoping that you can follow it up and get Izzy Hernandez out quickly.
Hernandez now at the plate for Carthage. A dangerous spot for CUC, as Hernandez has had great success all day against the Cougars. Been a force to be reckoned with, and not looking or showing any signs of slowing down, I should say, as she takes that first pitch in there for ball 1. Second one dropping for ball 2. Hernandez in her first at-bat of game number 2. She had that triple up the middle that scored 2 runs. Had a walk in her second at-bat. So really some good showings as she connects with that one, sends it deep into left center, bouncing off of the fence. Morris able to get it in quickly, and that's going to hold Hernandez at first. A great quick response there from Morris. I think the majority of fans in the stadium today thought that might have had a little bit more power to it than it did, as a lot of O's coming from the stands, but bouncing off the top of the fence there, it's going to hold Hernandez at first.
Yeah, like you said, that was just a fantastic defensive play by Morris. That looked for sure like it was at least going to be an extra base hit, and instead Hernandez ended up just getting held at first.
Hendrick fouling that one off for the 0-1 counts. Fouling that one off. Quickly going into the 0-2 counts. Hendrick 2 for 4 at the plate in game 1. Here in game 2, she's 2 for 2. Had a double in the first inning with 1 RBI, and then had a single up the middle in her second at bat. So a dangerous spot for Hendrick to be in, as that one is sent over into right field, getting past right fielder Ashley Schroll. Schroll able to get it in. And that's going to hold Hernandez at third, but the throw bouncing off is going to send Hernandez home. The play at third, not in time. Hajik chasing the ball down, trying to get control of that ball, and nobody covered the bag. Both Santos and Campos getting over there, but not in time. So by the time that Hajik tracked that ball down and went to toss it to someone, there was no one there.
Yeah, it was just a little bit of a defensive shutdown by the CUC there. First, the throw from the outfield was high, and Hajik had to jump for it and then wasn't able to reach, had to go back for it. And then, like you said, no one covered the base pass, which meant Hajik had to dive herself to try to apply the tag and was just not able to.
That ball gets past Lucero, and quickly coming in to score is Hendrick. So the Firebirds striking once again, jumping back ahead with an 8-6 lead off of some unfortunate series of events for the CUC squad.
Yeah, it seemed like CUC might have had it under control, and then you just had a high throw. You have no one cover the bag, then you have a wild pitch that gets past the catcher, and then that allows the Firebirds to score 2 runs to take the lead right back.
Geyser now at the plate for the Firebirds. 0 for 2 here in game number 2. In game 1, 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs. So an explosive bat when she gets the opportunity. She takes that one inside for ball 1.
Yeah, when she makes contact, she really makes contact. She can hit deep shots all over the field. Cougars are hoping that they can make it so that she doesn't make any meaningful contact and they're able to minimize some damage.
That ball takes a bounce. Arissa Santos off the backhand, able to stop it from getting out of the outfield, but with the awkward backhand grab, she's unable to get the throw off in time. And we're going to see some defensive changes here for the Cougars. Re-entering the game, heading to left field, is number 11, Lindley Southern. She started in game 1, and that's going to move Jess Gang over to right field, and that's going to pull Ashley Schroll out of right field. Schroll, a key arm for the CUC squad, so we can imagine that Schroll is heading straight to the circle. No warm-ups whatsoever needed for the senior pitcher. So Schroll now coming in. Schroll, 5 appearances on the season, 4 games started, pitching a 1.87 ERA, a really great arm for the CUC squad. She's got 15 innings pitched under her belt with 4 strikeouts and a 1.73 batting average against. That's a team best. So a very productive pitcher, so I'm not surprised to see Coach O'Malley Fisher making this defensive substitution.
Oh, definitely not. You're hoping that now that Schroll can come in and hold the runner, get 2 quick outs so that you head into the bottom of the 4th, only down 8-6. You want to minimize the damage and make sure that the Firebirds, who only have 1 out, can't build on their lead.
So a good change here as Schroll throwing some heat in her warm-up pitches. So once again, back in left field is Lindley Southern. Center field, McKyler Morris. Right field, Jess Gang. Across the infield, staying the same. Only change on the infield is Schroll coming in the circle. And that's going to bring Ristov up to the plate for Carthage. Ristov 0 for 2 today. And looking to get things moving as still only 1 out here in the top of the 4th.
Yeah, Ristov would love to come in here and make some good contact, get a good hit, advance the runner, give herself a little bit more help. She gave up 6 in the second, but then settled down in the 3rd, so she's hoping that she can help contribute some runs so that make sure that even if she does kind of give up a few good hits to the Cougs, it'll still end up with a Firebird lead.
So a fresh count here for Ashley Schroll making her debut on the day. She sends that first one in there for strike number 1.
And Schroll has just been a fantastic pitcher for the Cougars all year long. Her control has been top-notch, and they're hoping that she can bring some of that skill here into the game.
As that ball hit off of the first base netting, quickly puts an 0-2 count on the board in favor of Schroll.
And that's what you want when you bring Schroll into the game. You want her to come in, get quick outs, be efficient, get the Cougs out of the inning quickly, and just end up keeping the damage that the Firebirds have done to a minimal amount.
That ball's popped up into the infield, and taking the jump over at first was Geyser, so able to turn the double play. The Cougars are. A great defensive outing there. Schroll forcing the pop-up, and Santos quick with the catch and throw, and the Cougs get out of the inning with the hands of Ashley Schroll leading the way.
And just like that, Schroll came in, made an immediate impact, got the double play, got the Cougs out of the inning. Now they just got to hope that the bats can come back to life and they can knock some around the field.
So as the Cougars officially head to the bottom of the 4th, trailing by 2, we're going to take a quick one here on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, bottom of the fourth, CUC trailing 8-6. Leading things off for the Cougars is the top of the order in Jess Gang.
And this is what you want if you're the Cougs. Jess Gang is one of your strongest hitters. You want here coming out first. Again, at the top of the order, you're hoping to get on base, give the Cougars a chance to get back and cut into this 2-run Firebird lead.
Gang checks her swing on that one and quickly faces a 2-0 count. Gang took a hit by pitch in her first at-bat and a walk in her second. So still chasing a hit here in game number 2. She looked at that one for strike 1. And she connects with this one, sends it high into shallow right field, but able to get under it is Kronos for out number 1.
Gang made good contact with it, but just didn't get enough behind it, and so it ended up only going to a little bit deep in the grass, and was an easy catch to get one out on the board for the Firebirds.
This pitch delivered straight down the middle, and Morris takes it for strike 1.
So far, Ristov's showing that what happened in the 6th inning was just a freak occurrence, that she's settled down. She's not going to allow the Cougars to give up any more big hits.
Morris showed bunt for a second, pulled back for a good reason, took that one inside for ball 1. Fouls that one off for the 1-2 count.
Made some contact with it, but wasn't really any meaningful contact. So now she's hoping that come the next pitch, she's got a 2-1 count, she can get a good hit on the ball and send it into the outfield.
And that she does, Eric Perry. She sends that one into the gap. It's going all the way to the wall. Morris rounding first. She's going to get held up. She's going back to first with the slide. She's going to be called safe. A insane call. She rounded first. She's looking back at the dugout saying, my bad, my bad. But she rounded first, was headed to second, full steam ahead, and the throw got there in time, and it was a good call to turn around and go back because that ball was caught by Kronos blocking second base. There was no way for Morris to get through that cleanly.
Yeah, that was a great play by Morris. Just stop in her tracks and reverse course immediately to get to first before the throw from the second baseman. And now the Cougars, you have the tying run coming up to the plate. And you're hoping that they can get a good quality hit, move Morris to second or third, or maybe even score.
And with that, Coach Gilmore taking a second to bring her infield in and resettle things because, as you mentioned, the tying run is back at the plate, and it's back at the plate in a person that you don't necessarily want at the plate in Maya Lorenas. 1 for 2 so far today. She had a double up the middle for 2 runs scored on it. So in her last at-bat, excuse me. So being able to have her at the plate right now in your time of need is a good spot for the Cougars to be in.
Oh, 100%. You're hoping that now she's finally got her first hit of the day. Now she knows what she's looking for. She can have a similar hit to the one she had at her last at-bat and get a good hit to hopefully score the runner.
As that ball misses outside for the 2-1 count.
Ristov trying to paint the corners, make it so that Lorenas is just going to end up chasing.
Lorenas connects on that one, drops it into left field, almost getting by Hendrick. But Hendrick with a sneaky athletic grab on the spin to stop that ball from going all the way to the wall. It's going to hold Morris at second, Lorenas at first, and that's going to bring up Melissa Hajik.
That was a good play by the left fielder to cut off the ball. Good play by Hendrick to make sure that it didn't get past her and allow the runner to get to third or even score.
Hajik fouling her first pitch off for the 0-1 count.
Going into today, Hajik led the Cougars with 8 RBI, hoping that she can add on 1 or 2 more here with this at-bat.
She drops this one into left field, but able to come in and grab it is Hendrick for out number 2. And that's going to bring up Arissa Santos looking to get a 2-out rally going for the Cougars.
And if you're the Cougars, you really want Santos to get a good hit here to score a run. You don't want to squander the opportunity to having 2 runners on with only 1 out. You want to make something of this inning.
As that one catches the outside corner for strike 1. CUC in game 2 here today. They've been 2 for 5 at the plate with 2 outs. And 4 for 8 with runners in scoring position. So really hoping to capitalize as that ball heads over to Division Street, taking a bounce off the ground, but once again clear of any cars.
All the drivers on Division Street remain safe so far today. As now Santos got an 0-2 count on her, hoping that she can turn it and keep and hit a good ball and keep it fair.
So resettling a little bit, Santos back in it. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Cougars go down and close the 4th inning with nothing on the scoreboard, and they're going to head to the top of the 5th, still trailing by 2. Don't go anywhere as we've got 5th inning action coming your way. Ashley Schroll still in the circle for the Cougars here on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, top of the 5th, CUC trailing by 2. Ashley Schroll sends that one in, fouled off by Adler for the 0-1 count.
Cougars gave up 2 in the top of the 4th. They're hoping that they can cut that off, make so that this is the first inning in this game where the Firebirds have not scored and keep it just an 8-6 ball game.
As that one misses outside for ball 1.
Good try by Lucero to frame the pitch, but it was just a little bit too far outside for her to frame it effectively.
That one fouled straight back for the 1-2 count.
Ashley Schroll came in the top of the 4th inning, immediately got a double play ball to get out of it. So they're hoping that she can keep the strikes rolling.
As that ball hit up the middle, makes its way to the outfield. Morris able to grab it, but a base hit for Adler puts one on right away.
Santos, the shortstop, reached for it, but it was just a little bit too far out of her reach. She wasn't able to grab it and try to make a throw. And now you're hoping that, hey, you got a double play ball in the top of the 4th inning. Maybe you can get a double play ball here.
And it looks like we are going to get a pinch runner here. Heading over to first is number 19, Leah Cardona. Pinch running now for the Firebirds. We saw her pinch run in game 1, making a reappearance here in game 2. But Boyd now at the plate for Carthage.
Carthage hoping to put some speed on the base paths now. Make it so that Boyd, who's still looking for her first hit of the season, can get a good hit. And that Cardona will just be able to turn on the jets and run.
That ball drops fair territory over into right field. And Gang able to get the throw in. It's going to go a little bit out of the glove of Hajik, but Southern able to be right behind and get it in quickly, so stopping the run from scoring, but runners now on second and third.
That was a great backup play by Southern. That ball had got past Hajik. If Southern wasn't there, Cardona was going. She rounded third to turn on the Jets, but when she saw that Southern had it, she went back.
Back to the top of the order for Carthage is Rettler. Rettler 2 for 3 here in game number 2. She looks to show bunt, but takes that for strike 1.
Now the Cougs hoping that Ashley Stroll can pitch her way out of this. Still no outs.
That one fouled off along the third baseline, and an 0-2 count here in favor of Stroll.
Stroll's looking here to just get one past Rettler, get an out on the scoreboard, and make it so that you give yourself a little bit more breathing room. You're one out closer to being out of this inning with no damage done.
As that slap is down, the throw over to first in time from Smith, not in time. They're going to say that she was safe over at first, and the run scores as well.
And Rettler is one of those batters that right as she swings for the ball, she is taking a step. And being left-handed, it gives her puts her a few extra steps closer to first base, and those few extra steps were all the difference there.
So Coach O'Malley Fisher coming out and having a quick word, regrouping things. And looking to settle things in as Carthage has extended back out to a 3-run lead. Sun slowly setting here in River Forest, getting a bit chillier by the minute.
Might be a bit chilly here, but the Firebirds are just warming up. They've got runners on the corners. Cougars still don't have an out yet. And now really any good deep fly ball scores a run from third.
As that ball's going to get past Lucero. And one run will score. A little bit of a slow adjustment from the Cougars. Santos and Hajik both trying to settle in at third. Can't get the throw in time to get the out, but Carthage once again extending their lead, now lead by 4.
And Carthage is nasty on the base pass. They have the speed, and they will run you into the ground if you give them the chance, as we've seen them do several times today.
2-0 count here for Kronos. That one hit. Smith gloves it, gets it over, and secures out number 1.
And if you're the Cougars, you're happy to finally get out number 1 on the board. You finally got one away after already giving up a run this inning, but that also allowed another run to score, so in just this inning, the Firebirds get their lead from 2 to 4.
And with Simonson on base, another run scoring after Rettler crossed on that out. Umpire taking a quick second to readjust things.
Schroll trying to get some quality pitches back, get out number 2, and then followed up with out number 3 just to get out of this inning.
One-two count here for Simonson. That ball misses high, makes it an even 2.
Schroll was either trying to find the very top of the strike zone or she was trying to get Simonson to chase. Unfortunately for her, neither of those things ended up happening.
That ball fouled off. keeping the at-bat alive.
Simonson doing a good job to keep the at-bat going. No one on the base paths anymore, but Simonson would love to get on base herself and keep the momentum going for the Firebirds.
Fighting through this at-bat with a 2-2 count here. Schroll looking to end this. Sends that one just outside for 3-2 counts.
You can tell she was really trying to get Simonson to just take a big swing at that one. Simonson didn't bite, though, and now we got a full count as Schroll's trying to figure out the perfect pitch to get out number 2.
As that ball fouled off once again.
And Simonson's just been doing a great job with this at-bat to keep fouling them off, keep herself alive in this at-bat, keep giving herself an opportunity to get on base.
As that ball misses for ball 4 and puts a free runner on the base and is going to bring Hernandez back up to the plate.
Schroll was trying to find the outside corner. Fortunately for her, it was just a tad bit too outside, as now again Firebirds have another runner on and still only 1 out.
As that ball misses high and inside for ball 1. This one connects. Santos can't quite get there in time. A hard roller up the middle. Can't get her glove on it entirely, and that's going to put runners on first and second.
Santos went forward and looked like he just went right off the bottom of her glove, right where the glove meets the wrist, and he just wasn't able to field it. And now the Firebirds have 2 runners on with still only 1 out and the opportunity to increase their lead.
This one delivered low for ball 1.
And Schroll came in, did some efficient pitching in the top of the 4th inning, but has given up 3 runs here in the top of the 5th and has only gotten her team 1 out thus far.
Two-0 count here for Hendrick. She swings at that one, pops it into shallow left field. Southern able to get it in, but easily on base is Simonson, and that's now bases loaded situation here for Geyser.
From where the fielders were, neither the third baseman or the shortstop were able to back up in time to make a play on the ball. So now Geyser's got the opportunity to, with a big hit here, score 2 or maybe even 3 runs to break this game wide open for the Firebirds.
A swing and a miss there from Geyser. Puts 1 strike up on the board. Cougars still operating here with only 1 out.
And if you're the Cougs, hoping that either Schroll can get a nice, quick strikeout here, or that maybe you'll get a easy ground ball that you can turn for a double play and just get yourselves out of this inning, get it to the bottom of the 5th, where hopefully your bats can come alive again.
There's another swinging strike there. Puts the 0-2 count for Geyser, and a foul ball hit over onto Division Street, avoiding any cars, and still sitting with the 0-2 count. Schroll delivers this one high and away for ball 1, looking to get Geyser chasing a bit.
Schroll still in command of this at-bat. She's just got to hopefully sneak one past Geyser.
As that one misses outside as well, and a 2-2 count now. 2 fast pitches in for Schroll. 4 strikes now, combated by 2 outside balls. This one gets away from Lucero, bounces off the netting. Lucero with the toss, but Schroll was not at the plate yet. And so that's going to allow the run to score.
And that was a good play by the catcher, Lucero, to go back and get the ball, but Schroll just wasn't in position yet to make the tag. And now the Firebirds have officially doubled up the Cougs in terms of runs.
This one misses upstairs and away for ball 3, and a full count now.
Ashley Stroll trying to settle down now. You don't want to walk Hendrick to end up loading the bases again.
Stroll delivers that one. Geyser swings on it, but the umpire was not set. And so that's going to not count here, as Stroll still pitching the 3-2 count.
And that's a heartbreaker if you're the Cougs. You thought you were at 2 outs. You got her chasing.
And now that ball's hit up to center field. Morris underneath it, sending the rocket home. The throw is there, but can't be scooped by Lucero. So Hernandez is going to slide in and score. A little bit of extracurriculars there from Hernandez. Chest bumping Lucero.
And that's the damage that the ump not being in position for that pitch can do. Instead of just having 2 outs with the K, keeping the bases loaded, or keeping runners on second and third, now you had the fly out that scored a runner from third and moved the runner from second to third.
And home plate umpire having some words with Coach Gilmore, potentially about those little bit of extracurriculars there. And things are getting a bit chippy here in River Forest. Nonetheless, Firebirds now 1 runner on third. Cougars operating with 2 outs. Schroll stepping off.
Schroll just trying to get the 1 more out needed to get out of this inning.
That ball, slow roller over to second. Smith gloves it, grabs it, gets out of the inning. And the Cougars give up a good chunk of runs here in the top of the 5th. Have the opportunity in the bottom to combat it. So CUC officially trailing once again here in game number 2. Don't go anywhere on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, bottom of the 5th. CUC trailing 13-6. And that's going to bring up Emmy Lucero for the Cougars.
And a bit of whiplash here for the Cougar batters. Last time they were up in the bottom of the 4th, this was just a 2-run game. And then in the top of the 5th, the Firebirds broke it open, scored 5 to make it a 13-6 game.
As this ball delivered in the dirt for ball number 3. Lucero still chasing her first hit of the day. Had a strikeout in her last at-bat. As that one catches for strike 1.
Lucero just trying to get a good hitter, at the very least, to get on base to hopefully spark a Cougar comeback and get the momentum a little bit back on their side.
As that ball hit towards the 6 hole, making the diving attempt was Adler, and she gets the ball to stay in the infield but can't quite get the throw over in time. A great stretch from Hernandez over at first, but that's going to put Lucero safely on first.
That was a good defensive play by Adler to stop the ball, keep it there, but she had to throw it from her knees and just wasn't able to beat out Lucero.
And Coach O'Malley Fisher coming out, seeing a new batter here in Emily Garcia. Garcia coming in place of Campos.
Cougars now, again, it wasn't the 2-run deficit you had last time you batted, and you're hoping that you can just get some hits going, get some runs across the plate.
As that ball misses for ball 1. Garcia lays down a bunt, rolled over, wrist off, picking it up, able to get the throw at first in time, but Lucero safely over at second. Garcia almost beat that throw.
Garcia was booking it from the second she laid that bunt down. She was only out by a step or two. It's a great effort. Fortunately, she just wasn't able to get there in time. But now, hey, you got a runner in scoring position.
And that's going to bring Schroll up, who's going to send that one right back over to Adler. And quickly, 2 outs here for the Cougars, but once again, moving Lucero around. So Lucero now over on third. Caitlin Smith at the plate. Cougars 2 for 6 at the plate today with 2 outs. Looking to jumpstart something here. Smith takes a hack at that, sends it foul along the third base line.
Yeah, I mentioned the Cougs were 2 for 6 with 2 outs. You're hoping that this at-bat will make it 3 for 7 and that you'll be able to hopefully score the run from third just to get some momentum back on your side.
This ball catches for strike number 2. Caitlin Smith 0 for 2 here in this game. A base hit here scores Lucero as Smith sends that one foul.
Looked like she was a tad bit early on that one, but if she can get the timing right, she had the strength on it. Just hoping that she can keep it in between the foul lines.
Swung on it and missed, and that's going to end the inning. Cougars unable to capitalize on the runner on third and put up their third scoreless inning in a row and head back to the field. We're going to see a new arm in the circle for the Cougars in number 23, Maya Lorenas. Number 23, Alyssa Lopez. And going to see a couple of adjustments as Schroll will re-enter back in the outfield. A little bit of miscommunication here from the Cougars, figuring out who is going where in the outfield. Coach O'Malley Fisher still making those adjustments, but while they make those adjustments, we're going to take a quick break here on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, top of the 6th inning. Now in the circle for the Cougars is number 23, Alyssa Lopez. Back out in left is Jess Yang, center field, McKyler Morris, and then back in right field is Ashley Schroll. So Schroll retiring from the circle, heading back out to the outfield and making those adjustments here.
And for the Cougs, you're hoping that Alyssa Lopez can come in and get some outs and not allow any runs, which the Cougars have yet to do in game number 2. The Firebirds have scored at least 1 run in every inning so far.
Final stat line for Ashley Schroll, 1.2 innings pitched, gave up 5 hits, 5 runs in 10 batters faced for 34 pitches. As this one is lifted into center field, and underneath it is Morris for out number 1.
One nice thing about the sun going down is now you at least don't have to worry about the sun hitting your eyes.
Absolutely. As the sun continues to set here in River Forest, the temperatures continue to drop, but the sky looks pretty nonetheless, Eric Perry.
Indeed it does, indeed it does. You got the sun poking through the clouds just over the tree line.
As Riley Boyd fouls that one off of the first base netting. The 0-1 count here. Boyd 3 for 3 at the plate here in game number 2. Coming into this game, still chasing her first hit, as that one is going to find its way to the outfield. And Boyd on base for the 4th time today.
And just like that, Carthage has another base runner, and they are lethal when they get runners on. It seems like once they get 1 hit, they keep the hits coming, and they just keep feeding off the momentum that their batters have. So now you're hoping that you can try to keep the damage to 0, maybe get a double play ball here to get out of the inning right away.
Absolutely, as that bunt is a great bunt laid down by Rettler. And
looked to me that the bunt went right off the heel of Rattler.
then that's going to bring up a 0-1 count here. As she once again attempts, and that one's going to roll foul for the 0-2 count.
So now if you're Rattler, you got to if you do decide to bunt, you got to score it up a little bit. If you bunt it out of bounds, that's strike number 3. So she's going to have to try to angle it a little bit more towards the pitcher if she does end up bunting.
0-2 count here in favor of Lopez. And she's going to slap at this one. It's going foul. Getting underneath it is Santos. Santos making the easy grab and bringing the ball back in quickly. 2 away here in the top of the 6th.
Now, if you're Alyssa Lopez, you're looking to just get one more out or one more batter gone, and you're out of this inning. You're into the bottom of the 6th, where hopefully your batters can try to make the uphill climb that they're currently facing.
As that ball is swung on, heading foul. Lorena's able to get over there, but can't quite reel it back in.
It's a good play by Lorenas to track the ball, just a little bit out of her reach, unfortunately.
Oh, 1 count here. Swung on and missed. Make it 0-2. Kronos couldn't connect on that, and Lopez 1 strike away from getting the Cougars out of this inning. This ball connected, hit into right field. Schroll coming in on it and able to grab it right before it hits the ground for out number 3. And Eric, you spoke it into existence. Cougars needed a scoreless inning for the Firebirds, and that's what they did. Heading to the bottom of the 6th, CUC fought off the Firebirds briefly, and now need to see some hot bats coming into play.
Yeah, and this might look like a big deficit. The Cougars are down 13-6, but they scored 6 runs in the bottom of the second. If they can do that again here in the bottom of the 6th, all of a sudden they're only down 13-12. So while it might not seem like they can do it at first glance, it's definitely possible for the CUC to get right back in this.
Absolutely, and still pitching for the Firebirds is Ristov, and looking to continue to go. But the Cougars at the top of their lineup with Jess Gang leading things off. Gang 0 for 1 here in game 2. She hit by pitch in her first at-bat, had a walk in her second, and popped it up to second base in her third at-bat. So looking to get some things going, find some momentum here, as the next few in the lineup have had consistent hits throughout the day.
Yeah, and really just want to get it started. You just want to go batter by batter. Get the first one on, get the second one, just keep the hits falling.
As Gang sends that one right up the middle. First pitch she sees is good for her, and she's going to collect her first hit of game number 2 with a single.
You got one on. Now you're hoping that Michaela Morris can come on and she can get a hit too, and you can just slowly start to build momentum and get back into this game hit by hit, run by run.
As that one catches the inside corner for strike 1.
And again, Carthage doesn't have a deep bullpen. Their starters do all the work, so even if Ristov, like we saw, kind of got shellacked in inning number 2, you got to keep her in and hope that she can just settle down, which she did.
Morris sends that one foul along the left field line. Some power behind that swing, but quickly sitting with the 0-2 count.
And now she's just hoping that she can straighten that out.
As she pops this one up, but it's going to drop into the infield, falling right behind Ristov. And that's going to put runners on first and second as Gang safely makes her way over.
May not have been a big power hit, but the Cougs will take it. Ristov wasn't able to turn around and make the catch. Shortstop couldn't make the throw in time. Now you got runners on first and second. You got no outs. One well-placed hit scores a run, maybe even 2.
It was that song. Was that one? I think
So
so.
Cougars now sitting with runners on first and second.
Yeah, go ahead. Delete it off the app.
And you got Maya Lorenas coming up, who has been the big batter for the Cougs. She had the big hit back in inning number 2 that started the scoring for the Cougs. So you're hoping that she can get another big hit here where the Cougars need it most.
Still no outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Lorenas takes a swing at that one, swings through.
Now Lorena's quickly got an 0-2 count, hoping that she can battle back just like Morris did and get a good hit, or at least just a hit that gets her on base.
As that one in the dirt for ball 1. Lorenas takes a swing at this one, and it's going to drop right behind first base. Morris held at first, thought that was going to be caught, but it drops into kind of a dead space back there, and it's going to load the bases up here with no outs.
That was a bit of a weird play. 34, the first baseman for Carthage, probably should have taken that one. Instead, she backed off and made the second baseman run for it. And Kronos wasn't able to get it in time.
And that's going to drive a 1 run, and it's going to bring Morris rounding third. She's going to be safely at home, and a 2-run RBI oh my goodness, the Cougars just playing aggressive here. Melissa Hajik drops a ball out into right field. The ball is coming in. They go to make the throw. Second baseman has the ball, checking the runner at third. While watching the runner at third, Hajik sees that she's not being paid attention to, and she takes off for second. Fantastic, aggressive base running from the Cougars to slowly work themselves back into this.
That was just terrific base running. Heads up base running by Hajik. She noticed that Kronos just was not paying attention to her, and she made her pay for it.
1-0 count here for Santos. That one in there for strike one.
Now Santos batting, still no outs, and two runners at second and third. A well-placed hit into the outfield could score both of them.
As Santos swings through that one quickly, a 1-2 here.
One nice thing is that the Cougars currently don't have to worry about the double play ball, considering that first base is open, so a sharp ground ball could score a run either way.
As that ball is going to be called foul.
If that ball's moved probably an inch to the right, that scores the runner on third. And Santos probably would have been safe at first.
As that ball is swung through for strike three from Santos, and that's going to put the first out of the inning up. And we're going to see a new batter in number 14. Batting in place of Lucero. Esme Luvano now batting for the Cougars.
Hoping that she can get the good hit here to score the two runners and keep the momentum going for the Cougs, cut into this lead even more.
Luvano pitched in game one for the Cougars but did not hit, so this is her first at-bat of the day. So a 1-1 count here. As that one drops in the dirt for ball two.
And a favorable count now for Luvano is she can look for a good pitch that she can hopefully just turn on and smash into the outfield.
That ball fouled off. Leveling this at 2 apiece.
Luvano took a good hack at it, but just only got a piece of it. So now she's trying to fix that with this pitch.
As once again fouling that off along the third base line.
Made better contact with that one than the one before, so now hope you would imagine the next logical step is she makes good contact and keeps it fair to hopefully score a run or two.
That ball misses outside, makes this a full count. Runners on second and third, 1 out for the Cougars.
Now Ristov, you can imagine, kind of forced to throw a strike here. You can't try to get Luvano chasing.
And that's going to miss. Low and inside to load up the bases for Emily Garcia.
And Emily Garcia can hit. She's got some power. So you're hoping that with this at-bat, she can hit a deep shot to the wall, back the outfield, score a few runs.
That ball bounces up the middle. They're going to get the force out at home and are able to turn the double play. The exact opposite of what the Cougars were looking for there. A bases-loaded situation and just an unfortunate hopper for Garcia, and that's going to end the inning. But CUC able to put a couple runs on the board. Heading to the top of the 7th, CUC trailing 13-8. Lopez still dishing inside the circle, but we've got a ball game on our hands as the Cougars try to hold off the Firebirds in the top of the 7th here on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, top of the 7th. Cougars trying to minimize this damage that the Firebirds have done, as Lopez dishing inside the circle, Simonson at the plate.
Lopez was able to get through the 6th inning with no damage done. Was the first Cougar pitcher this game to put a 0 on the scoreboard for the Firebirds, so hoping to keep that flowing here and makes that the Cougars only have to make up 5 runs in the bottom of the 7th.
This ball popped high and deep. Trouble for the Cougars. It's going to get over the head of Ashley Schroll. Schroll able to get the throw in, but safely at second is Simonson.
And now Carthage has got a base runner. And once they get a base runner on, the hits just kind of tend to keep coming. It's like the batters just feed off what the batter before them did. So the batter before them got a hit, then they're going to get a hit.
This one off the handle of Hernandez's bat.
Little bit of a high pitch for Hernandez to swing at. It looks like she kind of decided to swing at it at the last second, hence it just kind of rocketing foul.
0-1 count. Lopez sends this one once again off the handle of Hernandez. Popped straight back. And an 0-2 count here.
You got the lead in this at-bat. You just got to get one more strike past. Puts out number 1 on the board.
And that one's going to hit Hernandez for a free base.
That's just unfortunate for the Cougs. You had the lead in the count. It was 0-2, and then you just beamed the batter to move her to first. And now you got a fresh set coming up with no outs on the scoreboard.
And home plate umpire giving a quick little chat to Lopez. Lopez laughing it off, and that's going to bring Hendrick up to the plate for the Firebirds. No outs, runners on first and second. This ball hit into left field off the glove of Gang. Takes a step in, and then it goes a little bit far. 1 run's going to score. But that's going to be extra bases there for Hendrick. Now on second. Hernandez over on third. And the Firebirds up 14-8.
Looked like Gang in left field and never really stopped moving as she paused to catch the ball. And as a result, she's shifted her feet a little bit too much. And the ball went right off the top of her glove and allowed the Firebirds to score a run and put runners on second and third.
That ball catches for strike 1. That one in there for strike 2. 2 consecutive strikes from Lopez, looking to do this herself.
Yeah, 2 beautiful pitches from Lopez saying, okay, fielding necessarily hasn't worked out. I'll just K the batters and get out of the inning.
This ball hit into the gap. Schroll able to get it in. And making a great stop was Lucero. Lorenas tried to be the cutoff on that, but instead tipped it off of her glove. Lucero making a sliding attempt to stop that ball from going any further and stop another run from coming in.
Yeah, that was a great play by Lucero. Like you said, just slide, keep the ball in front of her, make sure the batter couldn't get from first to second on that. But still, Firebirds managed to plate a run and still have no outs here in the top of the 7th.
That ball misses low for ball 1.
You got runners on the corner, so at this point, a well-hit ground ball could score a run, and a well-hit fly ball could score a run.
That ball hit right up the middle. It's going to score Hendrick. It's going to get past Morris in the outfield. That's going to send Geyser home, and that's going to give Ristov the safe base over at third. So the Cougars having a hard time settling in here in the top of the 7th. And we're going to see some adjustments as It does appear that Hofek will be re-entering the game to close this out for the Cougars.
Going back to that last play, it looked like the ball just went under the glove of Morris. It looked like her glove wasn't all the way on the ground, and that allowed the ball to just slip underneath it and end up rolling back to the wall, allowing Carthage to add on an extra run.
As you can see, the CUC infield and outfield all coming together out there in shallow outfield, just trying to resettle and regroup. Marissa Santos leading the charge there, kind of talking way as Hofek gets ready and warming herself up. The fielders for the Cougars needing to settle in as well, as still no outs in the 7th inning. Carthage already putting up 4 runs and extending out to a 17-8 lead.
Yeah, it just seemed in the bottom of the 6th, the Cougars got a pair, and they were still down 5, but maybe they could get back in this. But no, these 4 quick runs by the Firebirds have stretched this lead to 9, and here the Firebirds, you're feeling pretty comfortable, especially as you got a runner on 3rd, and still, like you said, no outs on the board.
Hofek coming back in here today, looking to get things settled a little bit. Only change made in this defensive set as she gets ready here. Adler 2 for 4 in game 2. She takes a swing at the first pitch. She sees that's going deep. Schroll tracking it, gets underneath it. The tag up from Ristov is there in time with ease. And Carthage extending out even further.
Managed to finally get the outs, but it was a deep fly ball that very easily scored the runner. So good and bad with that hit there, but now the Cougs finally have some empty base paths and 1 out.
As this one in there for strike 1. Taking a look at the final stat line for Lopez. 1 inning pitched, 5 hits, 5 runs allowed. And 1 hit by pitch with 24 total pitches. So a tough outing for Lopez, but Hofek coming back in here looking to close things out. That one in the dirt for ball 2.
It seems what's happened in game number 2 is the Concordia pitchers come in and they're able to be efficient and get outs quickly in the first inning, but then come the second inning, the batters for Carthage have figured out what to do and have figured out how to hit them.
Hofek sends that one in there for strike 2 and a 2-2 count here. As the sun continues to set and it continues to get more and more chilly by the minute. That one fouled off. Heading over onto Division Street. No cars damaged in the process.
Car total for the year still remains at 1. Now Hofek only needs 1 more strike to get out number 2. It's hoping she can get one here.
That one misses high. Full count here for Hofek and Boyd. That one fouled off, keeping her at bat alive.
Boyd's fine here. She knows that now that it's a full count, Hofek can't really afford to throw anything too outside. She's got to throw it pretty close to the plate to try to catch the outside.
Still a 3-2 count here. This one misses low for ball 4.
And again, the Firebirds have a runner on the base paths.
Back to the top of the order for Carthage. Looking at the 6th time through. Rettler 3 for 5 here today. Shows bunt, pulls back. The throw back from Lucero does not catch Boyd.
But one thing to note with Rettler, as she's pulling up to a bunch, she's already moving, so she's doing everything she can to give herself just a few extra steps on, or a few less steps on her way to first, so that she can hopefully beat out a throw.
That one in there for strike one. That one swung on, dropping foul. Gang chasing it down, almost able to get there in time.
Now if you're Hofek, you got a favorable count. It's 1-2. You just got to get one past Rettler, who is far and away the Firebirds' best batter.
The 1-2 pitch here. Slapped by Rettler. It's going to make its way to the outfield. Gang playing in shallow left field, able to get it in quickly.
Now it's just a perfectly hit ball by Rettler. It got past the shortstop, got past the third baseman, ended up in the outfield, and now again Carthage has 2 runners on and still only 1 out.
That one swung on by Kronos. Rettler looked like she was jumping on the pitch.
You can tell that Kronos wanted that one. She wanted to smack that into the outfield and score a run or two. Instead, it ended up going foul.
0-1 count here. In there for strike 2. Lucero walking the ball back, eyeing the runners down, not wanting to see anybody advance.
Especially when it comes to Rettler, who's a big fan of stealing bases. You gotta eye her down.
That ball swung on, staying fair. Lorena's coming into tag and keeping an eye on Boyd while doing so. And they're gonna get Rettler out at second, catching her sleeping a little bit. And the Cougars are able to get out of the inning. 5 runs from the Firebirds, but not letting any of those final runners score. So we head to the bottom of the 7th. CUC needs 10 to stay alive here on the Cougar Sports Network. New arm in the circle for the Firebirds for the bottom of the 7th in number 12, Trinity Brault, the freshman from Grays Lake, Illinois, looking to close things out. On the flip side, Cougars doing everything they can to stay alive here. Ashley Schroll leading off for CUC. Cougars need 10 runs to force this to an 8th inning. 11 runs for the fairy tale walk-off win. And Brault's doing everything in her power to not let it get anywhere near there.
Yeah, the nice thing for Brault is, as you mentioned, she has a very comfy cushion. 10 runs is a lot to work with. So even if she gives up 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, she's still got a 5-run cushion to work with.
This one swung on, dropped into left center. A great place ball going off the wall. Schroll rounds second, instead pulls back, now kind of caught in the in-between and gets herself into a rundown. An unfortunate situation for Schroll, as she just was not sure what she wanted to do from the start off that hit. A great hit from Schroll. Unfortunate on the bases.
That was just a fantastic hit, but then the outfield of Carthage did a great job at getting the ball back in immediately, so that Schroll just had to decide what to do, and in the end just ended up being caught lame duck on the base paths.
This one misses high from Brolt. This is Brolt's first appearance for Carthage. Like I said, a freshman out of Grayslake, Illinois, making her debut in the black and red, as she sends that one in there for ball 2.
And if you're the Carthage coach and staff, you figure this is the perfect time to bring her in. You got a 10-run lead. You don't have to worry about her coughing it up immediately. Gets her some college experience. Lets her face some collegiate batters.
A good way to ease into the game, as you mentioned, Eric, but Caitlin Smith at the plate looking at the 4-ball walk is going to put one runner on base, and the top of the order for the Cougars. CUC on their 5th time through the lineup. Gang 1 for 2 at the plate today. Looking to continue to jumpstart some things. Had a single up the middle in her last at-bat in the 6th inning. She looks at that one for strike 1.
It's a good pitch by Brault. She just caught the outside line of the strike zone to get in there. And if you're Gang, you're just trying to turn on one of these pitches and just get a good hit that the Carthage fielders can't field right away.
Gang sends this one over. The tag at first and the throw out at is good, and that's going to do it for the ball game. Kronos tagging Smith on the way and throwing Gang out at first, and CUC falls in game number 2, 18-8. Looking at our final stat line for today, Carthage 18 runs, 23 hits, 1 error. Cougars 8 runs, 11 hits, no errors. And looking at the pitching, the biggest difference here today, CUC going through 4 pitchers for a total of 147 pitches with a total of 47 batters faced, 4 total walks, and no strikeouts on the day for the Cougar pitching staff. On the flip side, Carthage, only 2 pitchers thrown. Ristov going 6 innings, only giving up 11 hits, 8 runs, picking up 4 strikeouts in the process. Overall, 2 arms thrown for Carthage, 4 total walks, 4 total strikeouts, 37 batters faced, and a total of 118 pitches. Leading the way with a hot bat today for Carthage was Hendrick, going 5 for 5 at the plate. 2 runs, 2 RBIs, 3 doubles. A great outing from Hendrick for the Cougars, leading the way in game 2. Melissa Hajik going 2 for 4 at the plate with 3 RBIs. Alyssa Campos going for 1 for 1 at the plate with 1 run. But at the end of the day, CUC falling 18-8 here in game 2 and falling in both games against Carthage Firebirds. So heading home with only the future to play, as the Cougars, like I mentioned earlier today, will be back in action tomorrow as they host North Park University for another doubleheader. Carthage's fellow CCIW mate, as CUC now falls to 6-6 overall. And Eric, final thoughts on today's game?
Well, it started off rough for the Cougars, who went down 5-0. They came right back. They had the lead going into the 3rd inning. They were up 6-5, and then it just kind of went downhill from there. They gave up a run to the Fires, who retied it, and then 2, and then 5, and then they got 0, but then 5 again, and just the Carthage hitting just being so efficient. It felt like everyone was coming up here and getting hits and making things happen, and that at the end of the day, the Cougars just weren't able to keep up.
Absolutely. Well, like I mentioned, Cougars back in action really quick with a doubleheader tomorrow against North Park University. But signing off here from the Cougar Sports Network, wanting to give a huge shout out to everybody that made today's production possible. Our producers for today, Abby Kulig and Grace King, operating as a producer during Game 1 and PA during Game 2 was the graduate assistant for Athletic Communications, Sydney Lloyd. Running the scoreboard for us here in Game 2 was Jalen Franklin. Running stats and music for us is the Assistant Director of Athletic Communications, Corey Welch. Joining me on the call today is Eric Perry. And one more time, I'm Kayla McLeod, signing off of the Cougar Sports Network, wanting to say, as always, go Cougars.
Thank you so much for tuning in to today's Concordia University Chicago Cougars Athletics broadcast. We hope to see you on campus very soon. If you would like to learn more about what Concordia Chicago has to offer, go to cuchicago.edu.